Senator, I have here, and I'm hoping you and your staff will review this very important document, about a 12-minute multimedia presentation, National Academies of Sciences reports on the vulnerability of spent fuel pools at nuclear plants to terrorist attacks. Would you review that, number one?
I will review it. I'm saying on camera, I will review it. You've got me on film.
And the not-so-fun part of my next part of the question is that in your state, the Exelon Corporation owns the most nuclear plants of any corporation in America, and they've been buying up more of them in the last 6 years. You've got a significant contribution from all the executives of Exelon. Can you comment about that? From my calculations at the FEC, it looks like you've got about 150 grand from all these executives and managers and so forth. Can you comment on that?
Well, I can comment on it. I've got they are a major employer in my community. You will also note, maybe this wasn't in the FEC report, that most of the major issues that they've advocated for in the state legislature when I was there, I opposed. So, you know, this is a classic example of why I would prefer public financing, so that people can't draw conclusions just based on who gave me contributions, since there's no correlation in terms of the work that was being done. This is also, by the way, why I don't take PAC money and federal lobbyist money, because you know, my preference would be that money doesn't get involved in politics at all. Now, unfortunately, we end up having to raise money to run for president. And I'm proud of the fact that we've gotten more money from donors of $200 or less than all the other presidential Democratic presidential candidates combined. I mean, by a huge margin. But part of what I think the next president has to do is to restore a sense of how ethics comes first in our government. And I've got a track record of doing this. So in the state legislature, I passed the first campaign ethics legislation in 25 years that we were able to pass. It prohibited the use of the personal use of campaign contributions, which back there in Illinois actually was allowed. Kind of made it like a legalized bribe. Here in the Senate, I've been working with Russ Feingold, and we were able to get the toughest ethics reform since Watergate passed this last session, prohibiting, oh, what's the matter, sweetie? Prohibiting corporate jets from being used by candidates, prohibiting the use of meals and gifts from lobbyists, and bundling, making sure that we know who's bundling contributions. And so I think that we've been able to make strides, but we're going to have a president who's very aggressive in saying, for example, that if you want to work in the Obama administration, you can't lobby afterwards during the duration of my tenure. If you want to work in the Obama administration, you're not going to be able to regulate those who you've previously worked for. Those are the kinds of practices that I think will help give people more confidence and a little less cynicism about how politics works.